the old people.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. Tyler, I was trying to figure this out.
Okay.
2021. It was like October.
Yeah.
It was about, it was like October 21 when you started coming in the group. Because I was like trying to figure out, I think I was like July-ish, August, and then we moved to the airport.
Yeah.
And then you started coming to the airport. Because I was just I was talking to my daughter, and I'm like, you remember? And she's like, I think I do. I'm like, yeah, it's been, 4 years.
Yeah.
To see which, I'm going to get a little, see where you were and where you are now. Great job.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just saying.
Appreciate it.
You were young and starting off and figuring it out, and you figured it out. So kudos to you, first of all.
Thank you.
So impressive for your age and what you've done and where you've come from. It's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just saying. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, on that note, appreciate having some more girl power on the podcast today.
Awesome.
The one and only Gina Altosino, the Italian stallion.
We try.
Yeah. Well, yeah, thanks for coming on. It's always great to catch up with you.
Thank you.
I feel like you're one of the few people that I can sincerely say that every interaction I have with you is always positive. It's always high energy. And that's contagious. And so thank you for being that beam of light. But for those that are tuning in that don't know you, do you mind sharing a little bit about your background?
Absolutely. I own, with my husband, a print and
Shout out
promotional.
Tony.
Pardon me?
Shout out Tony.
Shout out to Tony. Tony, the guy that I have run all over like a crazy man. The shit that he puts up with. Anyway, we own a printing company, and next April will be 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
So when we started that company, there was no Google. There was no anything. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. We had a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and started a printing company, and that's when printing was printing. Like, there was no, there was some promo-y stuff, but, nothing like it is now.
Sure.
That's totally just skyrocketed in probably the past 10 years, 5-10 years. It was printing on paper, printing books, printing catalogs. If you needed to get in front of customers, you had a catalog of your products. So solar, you would have pictures of all of your, what you're putting in, and you would put it in a book or a booklet or a trifold or whatever. And that's what you handed in, and you walked to a customer. There was no social media.
No online orders.
There was nobody going online to check out what you did. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. We've owned the company now. It'll be 30 years. And over the years, you pivot.
Yeah.
And you change because, no one's printing massive booklets, brochures, that kind of stuff. A lot of that stuff is online. So we were based out of Chicago, born and bred. And my daughter came to school out here. My parents had a condo out here. And so eventually we made the move.
Made the move to warm.
She wasn't coming back, and we always wanted to be somewhere warm.
Okay.
And I wasn't living in a state without her. That meant I would have to travel probably monthly, so that wouldn't be good. But our business afforded us to we work remote.
Yeah.
And that's how we kind of got here.
Awesome.
And, when we got here, we still had customers back home.
Sure.
Back in Illinois, sorry. I talk with my hands a lot. Sorry about that. I'll try to keep it to a minimum.
I do it all the time too. It's a hand gesture free.
Yeah. So,
friendly place.
and it was great, but I felt like this was going to be, that was it.
Okay.
That's all I was going to do.
Sure.
I needed to do something else. So I started getting involved in networking, learning the promo business, started doing some, that type of brand marketing and merch. And got more involved, did some networking, and figured out that if I'm going to continue our business, again, keyword, I say it all the time, and I will say it over and over again, you have to pivot.
Okay.
And if you don't, then you're closing your doors.
Sure.
Because you're not everybody needs business cards.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Sure.
That's not where the money was anyway, but you had to figure out how to make it work differently.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we did. And I mean, if there wasn't social media back then, so it was relationships back then, and it's still relationships now.
Yeah. Are you still paying the electric company for power every single month? You're not only losing money, you're investing in someone else's future, not your own. Bright Home Energy has over 400 5-star reviews and over 100 5-star reviews on the BBB. That means real homeowners just like you are already making the switch with quality and peace of mind. We are the preferred solar installer for Solar Edge Technologies in Arizona. Not a title that was given, but a title that was earned through quality, structure, and peace of mind. As a NABCEP certified solar installer and an APS qualified technology installer, your solar installation with Bright Home Energy is not good, it's top tier. So the choice is yours. You can either keep paying your utility company every month, making them rich, or you can make the switch to solar and start investing in your future today. No, that's kind of the crazy thing that I've kind of said, or has been my overall thought of business, is it's always going to be relational, no matter what happens with AI, technology, even people buying stuff online. It's like still business to business, person to person at the end of the day. Whoever's, using you for your products, your services, there's still always a person behind it.
Right.
And same with you all doing that work. Before we kind of dive into y'all's story and get into probably some of the good times, the bad times, and everything between. I know you're from a strong Italian background. I want to hear a little bit about your upbringing. Are there any stories or, I know what I love about, you just wear your emotions on your sleeve.
Yes, I do.
Very Italian, which is awesome. Any, prominent experiences growing up that you feel like really shaped who you were, examples from family members?
I think
anything?
Biggest thing I can say is it is exactly what you just said, strong family. My mom and dad both worked. I was the baby of the family.
Okay.
So it made me very independent because my mom wasn't at home. She was home for dinner and made dinner, and my father worked. But my brother and I, there's 4.5 years difference. So we both kind of had our own little life, so it was kind of different. But I think that family upbringing and watching both of my parents work, good, bad, or indifferent, whether there was a struggle or not, we never knew it. It's just, they just did and provided. I think one of the other things is family time, vacation time. They worked hard so we can go on vacation every year.
Nice. We
would get in the car and truck across the country, would come out to California to visit friends and family or whatever. There was no flying then. Again, a little bit old. We won't get into that, but I think that was it. And my parents eventually, then my father, owned a body shop, an auto mechanic shop. My mom did his bookkeeping, kind of where I'm going to go with the rest of our story. They always had their own business besides working outside the home. Oh, wow. So my mom worked full time.
Double time.
Worked full time at a car dealer.
Okay.
She was the office manager for a bunch of different Lincoln Mercury car dealers growing up. That's basically all I knew. And my father was an auto mechanic and owned a body shop. And cars are a big, important thing in our life. And, when I was 10, 12 years old, I would go. I didn't have summer camp. My summer camp was going to work with my mom. Okay. So I really think it's the work ethic that I got from them. Yeah. Where like even my kids will tell me, Mom, you need to not work on the weekend. You need to not be so. And I think it was the drive and determination that I always seen them. They were always thriving in some type of business or doing something. So I think that's them. I think they made me the work person that I am today, or my work ethic today that I have. So.
Oh, that's awesome. And, as you kind of look back, because I come from a family as well, like parents owned a business, and I think inherently you learn certain principles, whether it's through osmosis or like having to pitch in and help. And sounds like, a similar experience with you. I mean, were there any things besides the work ethic that you feel like maybe stuck out to you or that you picked up early on that maybe one day kind of came full circle and you're like, I'm going to own a business? I mean, is that something you always thought you would own a business, or just seeing them work, you didn't? How did that come to be, I guess?
I guess watching them, again, change and pivot. I think that is going to be my key word for the whole thing.
Love it.
They've always figured a way out. Whether, it's just like now, when you have a big account, you lose a big account, you gain another one. I think that's watching that process for them, I think was always, and I didn't think it was affecting me.
Sure.
But it did, because here I am, and we've had ups and downs in our business. Duh. I mean, we've been around for 30 years.
Yeah.
There's peaks and valleys. You know, how many
nobody
times...
wants to think about the valleys.
You know, how many times,
Yeah.
you know, you're saying to yourself, okay, we're throwing in the towel. I'm done.
Right.
Like, it happens. I mean, you do. You lose a great account, and just watching them, they persevered through BS times.
Yeah.
When times weren't easy. It didn't matter. You know, they always figured it out for us as a family. And I think that's the stability that it gave me. When the going gets tough, the tough get going.
Yeah.
It's a stupid phrase, but saying, but it's 100% true. And you watch them do that. And even though it's back there, it was back there. And that's where
Sure.
I feel, you know, no matter how shitty of a day they both had, they
Right.
came back home and they were happy.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, well, I guess that's the way it is. Today is today. You work for today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's another day. God given, you get that other day tomorrow. But that's really it. I think that's pretty much them.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And they're still here.
Are they?
87 and
Wow.
tough as nails. And
Good
they
genes.
will, yeah. And they're just, I tease a lot that they drive me crazy, but it's a good crazy. So I'd rather have that crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, yeah, having those great examples and kind of learn that tenacity. And that's the thing that I think is kind of tough in today's day and age. Obviously, we're by a few years, just a couple
Just a
different
few
generations. Years. But I think so much of today's generation, you know, they want things instantaneously. You see things online, nothing's ever what it appears. You know, you see, oh, this person's... Yeah, there's the anomalies, like people are playing video games and making bajillions of dollars and doing YouTube, but like very few and far between. And also you start looking at their story, like it doesn't ever really happen overnight.
Right.
But I think a lot of our society is like overnight, you know, instant gratification, and they don't really have the mental stamina or wherewithal to be able to stick something through. Like 30 years, I mean, in business, I mean, that's insane, just the different things that I'm sure you went through.
Yes.
And I guess for you also, you have this upbringing, it teaches you these principles. You know, you meet Tony, you have a couple kids. Like, what drove you to want to start your own business and in the printing business?
Yeah, that's a great question, because Tony was in the printing business for, let's see, we met 86, 88, so it probably 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And he was a sales guy, and he was doing great. I mean, he was, you know, top sales. He started there as their driver, and worked his way up, and it just worked out that this is a crazy story. So he had a lot of clients that he did a lot of long, what they call them, long runs, big runs, a lot of quantity.
Okay.
60,000 runs of brochures and books and whatever. And, you know, those customers would come to him and say, you know, we would like business cards, or we would like letterhead, or we would like some other things. Well, the company they work for didn't do that. They did big web printing and big quantities and so his manager, boss, owner said, you know, go down the street to, you know, Dick's Quickie Print. Always service your customers, because they're going to want that relationship with you, that you went above and beyond for them. And he did. And then just, you know, start a little like company that you just build that kind of stuff through. We're green as green can be. We had no clue.
Right.
I was at home with a 2-year-old and 4-year-old. And we were like, okay, so we started doing that a little bit, put money aside. And, you know, Tony he had a relationship with these customers and went back to them and said, hey, you know, if I start myself on my own and go on my own by myself, would you, you know, come with me, or would you stay? And they're like, hey, our relationship is with you.
Right.
And you've met Tony.
Yep.
As myself. We could probably talk to the light switch. Doesn't matter. We will find a way to have something in common with anyone.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what started. And we both looked at each other. And I mean, again, I'm going back to the fact that this was 1996. There was no Google.
Right.
There was no books. There was no, my uncle was attorney. He incorporated us. And here's your docs. Here's your papers. Just go. And I was doing our bookkeeping on long,
Right.
you know, whatever, checks. You wrote checks and sent people. I was doing our invoices on a typewriter. Like, and that's it. And we just kept going from there and going from there. And that was, I mean, it's crazy to think that's how it started.
Sure.
But we both looked at each other. And again, it goes back to that entrepreneurial spirit that my parents both had. And I think I was like, hell, why not? Let's give it a shot. You know, you still have a job.
Sure.
And so we started putting money away. And then it was like, okay, can we pull this off on our own?
Just
and here we are.
For it.
Crazy.
I mean, thinking back, obviously you had a lot to lose.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everything to lose.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and it's funny just as I think about our story and just talking to people, it's interesting how, you know, when you think like, hey, I'm starting this business, I find it's been very rare that it's like the day somebody comes up with a business is the day they decide to like be a business owner.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's like this just kind of in the back of your mind and then starts with this, starts with that, and it kind of picks up momentum, and then all of a sudden by the time it usually comes to that like, hey, decision, like, are we doing this or not, it's like you're already like all in anyways.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's not really much of a decision. It's just like, here we go.
Yeah, it's almost kind of once you have that, I'll call it a vision.
Sure.
And it was like, okay, we'll give it a shot. And then it really, honestly, I could say that snowballed from there.
Right.
Because then, again, you didn't have social media. It was Tony knocking on doors. It was Tony, the accounts that he had, but it was going into other places or people, you know, friends, or, hey, so-and-so needs this. Can you talk to him? And it just, that's how it kind of escalated, elevated, whatever word you want to say there. But I think that's, you know, I don't give myself enough credit. I never will.
Probably not. You should.
I don't. And I look back and I'm like, hell, we were green as green can be.
Yeah.
And maybe that was good.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you didn't know that you could fail.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know.
And screw it up. You just didn't know. You didn't. And I think that's the other problem with, you know, let's fast forward. Let's even just say between 2020 and 2025, so much has changed again, technology-wise. Yeah. And, you know, the lockdown and how that affected companies and where people were and what you were doing. And again, you got to roll with the times and change again. And I think, you know, the unknown is the unknown, but, you know, so many people try to figure it out technically. And I think this is the part that gets me crazy about, you're a little older, but my kids are younger, even that 25 to 35. You're on a blueprint. There's no blueprint.
Yeah.
There's no blueprint. What, at 32, you have to be married and have kids? At 35, you have to be, you have to have this much money. There's no blueprint. Because shit's going to go sideways all the time. It's how you react to the shit going sideways.
For sure.
And, you know, is that the claim to fame?Maybe. You know, I don't know. That's really it. You figure it out as you go, and you don't really know. But
I appreciate the energy behind that, and it's true because a lot of times in business too it's like almost staying alive ensures that you're going to win.
Yeah,
it's almost like a win by default in by some extent, because there's, I'm sure, several times along the way you could have given up, and it's like obviously you would have given up, you wouldn't have made it.
Right.
To you, you know, as you look back, so you get going, you have this momentum, it's going on itself. Can you recall kind of that first big pivot or change? And, you know, was there a point where you're like, man, I don't know if we can do this, but then you were able to pivot? Was there any experience, or even just along the way of the 30 years, like major pivot that you're like, whoa, how are we going to figure this out?
Yeah, I think the, you know, there was that 2008, 2009, the whole market, real estate. We didn't feel those effects until like weird. People would still spend money because they were still printing, whatever.
Right.
We didn't really start to feel those effects until like 11-ish, 10, 11. And we lost like a really big account. And it was literally, it was our bread and butter.
Sure.
And we were like, okay, my son was leaving for college. My daughter's still in high school. And I'm like, how are we going to do this? And God always opens a door. You just don't know it at the time.
Yeah.
So you just keep going, keep looking forward. And a friend of ours owned a property management business in the city of Chicago, and I was background has always been accounting, and going back to the car dealer days, that's what I did, and that's what I did for our business. He needed a property manager in the city of Chicago. And he's like, hey, we'll bring you on. We'll help pay for insurance. This way you guys can,
Right.
And then Tone went back, building the business to try to gain that big customer we
Sure.
lost, how we were going to gain back up. And I'd say I was there from probably 12 to 15 or 16 when we moved here. And if that didn't happen, I think that would have been our demise.
Yeah.
Because I was able to at least, when you have your own business, you're
Sure.
paying your own insurance. It was
Yeah.
me, my husband, and then we had our nephew working for us at one point, helping us drive and things like. So there wasn't a lot of us. So you had your own insurance.
Right.
When you're an independent contractor,
Yeah.
you're paying your own insurance, and a family of 4. It was putting us down pretty quick, and you had to figure a way to get out of that. And lo and behold, our good friends. I was able to go work for them for 3 or 4 years. That paid for our insurance
Sure.
while our kids were in school still. And Tone was able to build up the business again.
Nice.
So, that was probably one of the times that I could have said, hell, we're both going to get jobs because we're
Yeah.
done. And you just don't give up. I think that's it. You just don't give up. It was there for so long, and you just figure a way how to deal with it. And then I worked there till 2015, 2016, and then that's when we made the choice to sell everything and move here.
What do you think it was that, I guess, pushed you all or led you all to keep going? I mean, a little bit of stubbornness,
Yeah.
craziness?
Yeah,
What?
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably goes back to my parents and always wanting them to be proud of me and because I always wanted to prove to them, it's a weird thing, but you always want to
I
be,
get it.
you always
Yeah.
want them to be, look at, whatever. And I don't think, every time I think about throwing in the towel, it's because I'm an emotional roller coaster, and that's part of being Italian and Greek. That one day I'm here, and next day I'm here, and then I'm here, and then I'm here. So that's okay. But at the end of the day, even it out. But there's too much benefit mentally for me to not give up.
Yeah.
I won't fail.
No, it's...
I can't.
Yeah.
That's just me. I will work 18 hours a day if it means not to throw in the towel. Even though I tease about it a lot,
Sure.
I'll do anything.
You got to have a little bit of comic relief for like some...
Yep.
No, I get it. It's a way to vent things
you just
Sure.
don't. It's like your baby now. Now it's my baby.
Yeah.
And when I was getting this close to, oh my God, it's going to be 30 years. Oh, this is kind of unheard of,
Yeah,
And
for
it's
sure.
come on.
Yeah.
Everybody knows a printer. You can order online.
Yeah.
This isn't a new age business. This has been around forever. Why do people still come to us? You know what? I will always say, I'm going to go the extra mile. That's just what I've done. I'll always be in your corner. I'll try to give you the best ideas. I'll try to do, all the things that make people come back is because of, I try to make it a good experience.
Yeah.
And I think, I had only a few more years to kick butt, and then I'm going to be sitting on a beach
There
somewhere.
you go. Living the
I don't
dream.
know that I could ever really do that. I
don't
have too
think
much
you can
energy
either,
to
but-
not. Everyone always says that. I'm 62. Are you going to retire soon? I'm like, I don't know. I don't. Maybe when my
Yeah.
kids have babies, I'll think about it. I don't know.
Sure.
But I love this. I love
Yeah.
being with people. I love going to networking. I love, it's my whole persona. Like,
Yeah.
I love being with people and screwing around and laughing and making people laugh and having fun.
No, I agree with that. And kind of segueing into your business now, I mean, I know like one thing for us is I think about your business. Of course, you're doing print and promotional and whatever. Like you can say that, hey, I pull from this catalog these products, we put your logo on it.
Yeah, right.
But more than that, I think, at least from our perspective, like, I mean, we've been working together for a long time, and every single one of our customers gets something that you helped us create, which is when they go solar initially, they get a little cutesy basket with some baked goodies and stuff, and then we have a little stress it's like a stress ball, but it's a house with
house.
the solar panels on it.
Yeah.
Customers freaking love that. And it's just like, hey, don't stress it. We have it from here.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they get a pair of the sunglasses that have the logo,
So fun.
like harnessing the power of the sun. And, you know, as I was just kind of thinking about us coming on and talking, that like you're really helping us provide a phenomenal experience for our customers. And that, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands have gotten that. And it's like, you know, you probably don't know, you know, from printing to promo items, like maybe how many sales you've helped make or keep or create. I mean, I'm sure it's hard to count.
That experience.
That experience. But
with
with us, it's like, you know, we know what we know, which is like solar and our other businesses. Like, I think to kind of toot your horn, why you'd want to work with you is like you help bring the creative ideas to us. And like we've had multiple times where we're like, hey, we want to go do something at ASU for employees or whatever. What do kids like? And we came up with like a yo-yo. Not that you know, just little things like that. Like I don't have the time to like know every single thing that's hip and happening and what people are liking, how they're responding to it. But that's where your professional comes in, is we have the relationship where it's like, I trust you implicitly. You know what's working, what's kind of hot. You don't tell us what we should do, but you're like, hey, here's some things to choose from.
Right.
And I guess for you, so you all moved from Chicago to Arizona. What was that transition like, and then how have you pivoted your business, you know, from 2016,
so
2020, and then 2020
you know,
now?
Every single person in Illinois, Chicago, our suburbs, our family, they all thought we were out of our minds. I mean, I do remember a couple of family members saying, yeah, you know, they're just going through a phase. They'll be back. I'm like, hit the road, Jack. Once I'm gone, I ain't coming back. No. I think that just the unknown, we really knew.
I mean, no offense. I mean, 50 years old.
We knew no one. We had no friends here. We
moving
knew
across
no
the country, starting new.
And everyone thought we were like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, that's a real credit to Tony and myself.
Yeah.
Because we're buddies. We've been buddies since we met. We gab about everything. We've worked together for years. I can't believe that we haven't murdered each other yet. But we've worked together for years. There's days that I'm sure he wants to, you know, scream at me, and there's days I scream at him, and we go back and forth. But at the end of the day, we only had each other.
Sure.
And then my daughter was still, she was a senior at ASU. My son was living in Chicago, back in the city with his friends. My parents would winter here. We didn't really know anyone.
Yeah.
So like I said, I was servicing the clients back in Chicago. And when I say that, even though like they were based out of Chicago, we did a lot of fulfillment with like our pharma companies and stuff that we delivered everywhere.
Sure.
We shipped everywhere. We do all that, whatever. But our realtor, I had Kenny Chesney tickets. This is great. I had Kenny Chesney tickets. I think we had 6. I thought my son was coming in town, whatever. So we couldn't use them. I don't know where we were going, what we were doing. We could only use 2, whatever. So I called Jessica and I said, hey, we know no one here.
Yeah.
Like, you guys want these tickets or whatever? And, you know, we just started BSing again. And she's like, you know what? I belong to a networking group. And at the time, it was just an all women's networking group. I think there was like 15 people in there. And she's like, do you want to come? She's like, we need a printer. And I'm like, sure, I don't know. Networking back in Chicago is pretty cutthroat.
Right.
Like, if you did any type of networking in Chicago, like, they invited 10 printers and you would all battle it out. I mean, it was not fun.
Right.
So I never did it in Chicago. So, yeah, I went and started meeting people, talking to people. And I think that started the whole networking thing and meeting people and going out. And because, again, we knew no one. And we ended up having friends move here, so that was good. But, you know, just we're blind.
Yeah.
And patient. I think you're patient. I was very patient as to what the next thing would bring. And from there, went to another networking group, then met some other people, and it just, you know, then I was in BNI for a while. Yeah. That helped. All of it was relationships and introductions, and I've met some of the most awesome people right now. Of course, you being in that group was wonderful. That group has catapulted us, just because not only from business, but I think even just relationship wise, I love being the mom in the group for such a long time. It was such a great feeling.
Yeah, it was.
All the youngers and Gina, the old mom. But I loved it because you guys, whether you thought about it or not, gave me so much energy every week because I was watching you guys soar, whatever business you were in, any of the guys and girls in the group, everybody was doing something and going somewhere. And then you got involved, Allison with State Farm and, getting involved with nonprofits and being able to give back and doing the Olympia, like all that stuff just made me a better person. Getting involved with all the nonprofits that I get involved with now, I love. But I think that's what helped as well.
No, I agree, and I know there's kind of that old saying that like your network is your net worth. And yeah, it's like I've always kind of looked at that in a couple different lights, but it's interesting when I got in touch with that group. A little context is, so I met Braden back in like 2014, 2015. I was a realtor for literally like 30 minutes. It was like a couple months, and his title, he's at Magnus at the time. His title company was just in the Keller Williams office. We probably had like one or two conversations, but we did follow each other on social media, and then just randomly out of the blue he messaged me, said, hey, I have this networking group, we're looking for a solar person, and I literally, my response back to him says, if it's anything like BNI, I am not interested, but if it's not, I'll talk to you. He's like, it's definitely not. So I kind of came to that group a little like, okay, we'll see. And I know there was a couple other solar guys at the time that were like interviewing or whatever. And just the first thing that impressed me was just like the quality of people. Because I've been to B&Is and things in the past, and it's like it's kind of hit or miss on people in general. I just felt like, that group was definitely my vibe, and, you and Allison and Braden and all the people that were in there, it was just very rare to find similar people that are really good people that like, the crazy thing is like, I wasn't like a solar sales rep, so I wasn't trying to go there to make a bunch of solar sales. I literally, my thought was like, hey, I want to meet other like-minded, high-achieving individuals. And number one, that surpassed all my expectations. But number two, I don't know, I kept track at one point. I was utilizing like 10 or 12 people in that group for different products or services.
Is that the craziest thing?
Yeah, and it was like, I had no idea that I needed these people. I thought I was kind of going there to receive business. Yeah. But I was one, I think, like, obviously kind of giving back. And I got some, but I think more than that, the relationships that I got from that were worth way more than business.
I do think the relationships, and I just think that accountability. Yeah. Every Wednesday morning, it's 7 a.m. Does that suck? Sucks for girls. Yeah. We got to put a face of makeup on. That's we got to look. Guys, you jump in the shower, maybe shave, you not shave, but clean up. Yeah. But I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is a commitment, but the commitment makes a difference because those people in that room, whether you try as hard as you can to give as many people back business, because I'm an easy sell. If I'm in that room, somebody's going to want something somewhere down the line, whether it's shirts, whether it's polos, whether it's hats, whether it's pens, something, which is beyond grateful. But the accountability in that room that I see now, where we were to where we kind of were going, and now where we are, incredible. Yeah, it's awesome. And we work for each other. Sure. I really do think that that's the difference. We really do. When something comes along, we're like, oh my gosh, I can call so-and-so. So I think that part of it, that's the networking part that I will never give up, and so grateful for that particular group, because that was kind of, I started as a baby there. I didn't know what I was doing, and it really helped a lot.
Yeah, no, great people, really, and shout out Braden. It's also cool just to see, like, one idea, how much it can affect people for the positive. Yeah. But yeah, good times, great oldies. Yeah. As you all move forward now, I guess, with you and Tony, if you had to kind of pinpoint it, what do you feel like your why has been? Like, through this whole process, you and Tony, like, what keeps you going? I know you've mentioned kind of a lot of things, but if you were to kind of pin it down, like, this is our why, and this is like what keeps us going every single day.
I think it's like a weird, I always say, work hard, play hard, work hard. I really think my why will always be, which is, I know you're not supposed to do that, but it's for my kids and them. And everyone's like, you should always take care of yourself first. I've never been that way. I don't know how to be that way.
Yeah.
And I know I read all this positive motivational stuff and worry about you and blah, blah, blah. I can't worry about me. I've never worried about me. And it's never going to be about me. It's always what I can do. My why is them. And as long as I am able-bodied and I can keep working and I can keep doing family dinners, family vacations, and we just went, we got away from it for a while because we had so many weddings.
Yeah, you had a few.
And besides our own weddings, we were going to other people's weddings, so whatever. But we got away from it. And this past summer, we went to San Diego, the 6 of us, kids, spouses, rented a house and went to the beach and just had a blast. And I'm like, okay, this is it, guys. This is every summer. We're going back to that. So that's my why. If I can be able to go on vacation, take my kids on vacation, and God willing, one day, grandchildren or whatever, that's my why. That will always be my why. And of course, my mom and dad, they're still here. So whatever I can do to make their, last few years with us, whether, whatever, I'll do anything. So I will beg, borrow, and steal and keep working my ass off until I can't.
You're tenacious.
Yeah, I have to. I mean, that's just me mentally. Yeah. That is my why. My why is just I've never not wanted to do for others. I always say when I do all these fundraiser things, one day when I'm a millionaire, I'm going to give back to all these awesome places. We've just done the Queen Bee thing. We did, anything that I can do to give back, I think that's I will keep working so I can give back anyway, even if it's small, it's something.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I'm biased because I love you. You're awesome. But, I mean, always just even being in your presence is always like you giving some of your energy,
Awesome.
Like I run into you at random events and I'm always just like, Gina, and you're always like, I'm like,
that's
how the hell does she do
it? Yeah. You usually get that.
I don't know how she does it, but
no,
we're all better for it.
No, I think that's the biggest thing. I want to have that impression with people. Yeah, I'm crazy, I'm goofy. I just want people when they say, Gina Altosino, yeah, she's crazy. Like, that's it. I mean, she's crazy, or she helped me, or whatever. I want to make sure that whoever I leave, or whenever I leave a room, somebody's going to say something positive. And if they don't, that's not my problem. I'll never know. So I don't care.
It's true.
Right? Don't matter.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, we've kind of talked a lot about it, but if you were to kind of put a bow on it, what would you say you want your legacy to be?
I think, it's legacy isn't what I don't know. It's not, to me, like something tangible. Yeah, oh, great, I'm going to leave my kids money, or I'm going to leave the business or whatever. That's not my, I don't want that to be my identity. I think my identity and what I want to leave as a legacy is one day I just hope the values that I had, that I got from my parents, whether it's work ethic, whether it's family first, whether it's God first, what you could do for other people, I just hope those values, I instilled those in my kids. I think that's probably more important than what I can give them financially. They both do very well. They're fine. They're able-bodied. They're great. Yeah. Financially, I mean, I'd like to leave them a little something. But I think the values that I have, I hope that they have seen what Tony and I have done for them, that they realize that that's what we want to leave them, is the values, and a little bit that their mom's nuts. But yeah, that.
I'm always interested when I ask that question because I don't know how many times I have. I like that because I think it's very introspective. And 100% of the time, what I love most about it is it's never really monetary. It's always something money can't buy. Yeah, of course you want to leave them something, but things that money can't buy. And it's like we always get in. My thought of getting into business, I'm sure with y'all, is like, how do we make money and become rich? And it's all money based. And then you get into business and you find out there's way more than just the monetary that you learn, the experiences you go through, the person you become, and ultimately I think the legacy that you can leave on people, which money will come and go. You can give them money, eventually they're going to spend it. but the lasting impression that their mom's a little crazy but awesome, the effect she had on people,
but
that's everlasting.
Think about, like, we don't have employees, but like you and the decisions you make affect people's lives. So you have to
try
think.
not to think about it, but thanks for bringing it up.
But in a good way,
Yeah, I hear you.
You're always thinking about how to make this business better and grow it. Look at what you did and where you came from and what you've grown, Matt, and I forgot
Nate.
Yep. Think about that and the effects that yes, you built a business and financially you're helping those people, but some of those people are the youngers that came here and didn't know, or you just got them started off in some type of sales, or where they you've affected them that way as well,
right?
Not only financially, but think about some of those people too. And that's kind of what I say. I just want to, hopefully somewhere down the line I left some type of effect and made somebody smile, and that I patted them on the back and gave them some hope, and even my children. That's the thing. I think that's the best thing you can do. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. You're doing it. Well, thanks again for coming on.
Thank you.
Every
I always love seeing you, and I'm so glad you had me here today. That's awesome. It was wonderful.
You're a ball of energy. ball of bright energy. And
got it.
Our worlds are brighter because you're in it. So
awesome.
Thank you
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for tuning in. If people want to find you, Dot Graphics, how can they find you on Instagram and all that?
Pretty easy. Dot Graphics, DOTGRAPHX, not ICS, so it's X.com. And we're on there and help any way we can.
She's the plug for all things legal.
Yes.
And she'll bring you smiles and laughs all along the way.
Try.
So, well, thank you all for tuning into another episode of the Be Bright podcast. Like, subscribe, share it with friends, enemies, whoever. Just get the word out. We'll see you again soon.